everyone, how are you doing today? My name is Karina and welcome back to my channel. Today on this cold, kind of snowy, kind of windy day, we are going to introduce the countdown to summer. This is a PANtastic Ladies collaboration. It is created by Jessica Lee, Amanda, and Jana, and it is of course the very famous Drop 10 by Summer Project Pan. Of course, it starts today, March 20th. We're going to have monthly updates and a finale on June 20th to count down to summer. We're supposed to have some kind of summer-themed items to help count down to summer, and for this project, I am not going to do it rolling, which I think is a little bit more of the standard for this particular project. If you enjoy this kind of project, then make sure you check out my Finish 7 by Spring, which was basically the same thing, just 7 items, counting down to the start of spring, and now we're taking over with the summer-themed version. There is a weight loss component to this project, but for me, I'm just going to stick with the classic dropping 10 items by summer. So we're going to go with items that I think I can finish before we get to the finale in June. And I do have a selection of perfume, body care, skincare, and makeup to get to the 10 items I think I can use up by the finale. And obviously the goal in all of these is to finish it. So there's no usage item or usage items in this particular project. Without further ado, let's just dive into the 10 items that I want to finish before we get to summer. So let's start off with the skincare components. So I have a whole bunch of items that are more related to skincare. And because I do have like a full year-on rolling project pan dedicated to skincare, I focused primarily on sample sizes, still larger sample sizes because I still want to work through them, but I don't want to interfere too much with my regular projects that I have. So the samples I have here, I want to be able to work with and in conjunction with what I have in Skin is In, which is also a PANtastic Ladies collab. And we are going to start off, my very first item is a serum. And this one, I believe, came from the 25 Days of Beauty Surprises Advent Calendar. So this is going to look familiar. This is a product I have not used before, have not got into this sample. This is the Sheisdo. This is their Ultimate Power Infusing Concentrate. We got a nice little curved bottle. It's pretty fun. Larger sample sizes, like I said. So this one is in particular 10 milliliters. And I'm actually not sure if this one's supposed to be used morning or night. I guess I will have to look into that and find out so I can use this in my routine. And of course, we do have this brighter, more vibrant color to help count us down to summer. So this is item number 1. Now, with a lot of my other project pans, I have brought in some moisturizer samples, and funny enough, most of the moisturizer samples I've brought in were for the day, so I have had a bit of a conflict in trying to make progress on my Skin is In day moisturizer that I have in. So this time, we're going with a night moisturizer. So this is the Lancome, and it's very hard to read this writing here. This is the Multivital Night High Potency Night Moisturizer. That's how you know it's supposed to work, when it explicitly tells you it's high potency. This is even larger, so this one's 15 grams. So we've got a lot of product in here. Main reason I want to roll this one is I now have 2 of these samples, so if I don't like it, I want to know that so I can give the other one to someone else, and if I like it, then yay, I've got a backup. In terms of the summerness, we do have this lovely white packaging in the middle there. So kind of remind me of like white sand beaches, which of course very summery. And yeah, so again, have not used this product, haven't even opened this product, never tried it before. So this is going to be a bit of a night moisturizer to play with. Third item is going to be a mask. So this is the Glamglow, so just a little sample here. This is of their Gravity Mud Firming Treatment. And of course, in the summer, when your skin, you have more of that out and exposed because you're wearing, less clothing, right? Tank tops and shorts compared to like longer sleeve shirts and full pants. You want everything to be nice and firm looking. So we also have this bright purple packaging. It's translating a little bit more like bluey purple on camera. Apologies. And again, I have played with Glamglow. What's their favorite? The Youth Mud Stimulating Mask. I'm using that one right now, but I've never used this one. So we'll see how this one does. We have 10 grams. 10 grams of sample in here, but like a lot of squeezy tubes, do not be deceived by the size of the package, because when you shine your light through, That's about where we are. So this is 10 grams. So I did put a starting mark on here again because it's not starting from the top. So I don't want to look like I've used this much product because then I would really look like I'm maneuvering and moving through this quickly. This is our starting point when I shine that light through it. So we've got a mask to help complement the skincare. And if you caught my Caribbean vacation beauty items that I'm taking with me video, then this next item is going to look very familiar, and that is, of course, a sunscreen, which should be self-explanatory for summer. This is the Roche-Posay. This is their Melt-In-Cream SPF 50. Sunscreen is obviously something that we're supposed to use all the time. And they don't. So I am hoping that putting a sunscreen into this project is going to help get me more in that routine of using an SPF all the time, in particular a face SPF, because again, I wear a full face of makeup basically all of the time. So when you're first putting it on in the morning, great, but reapplication suddenly becomes a lot harder. So this one also does need to be used up. It does have an expiry of June. So basically when this project is ending, this is going to be expired. So we want to make sure I use this up because I do have a sunscreen that I do want to buy for Sephora VIP sale, but this one's got to be done first. So it's not a bad sunscreen. I used it in the Caribbean. That was my first time using it, and I actually made some really good progress on it. I don't know if you guys can see that line. It's this kind of goldish one right here. I don't know where it started because I didn't shine a flashlight before the trip. I didn't think of it because I also wasn't tracking it at that point. I imagine, like the Glamglow Mask, it wasn't completely full, so maybe somewhere in this range. But I used a fair amount when I was down in the Caribbean. Good. So this one should be fairly easy to do. Again, just have to be in the habit of using the SPF. So, just to help set good intentions, and especially as we're counting down to summer, gotta protect your skin. So let's bring in the sunscreen. So I do have one body item that is going to be rolling into this project, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how things go, because it's this guy. So this is the Clarins. This is their Moisturizing Body Lotion, and yeah, it's got a weird scent. It's planty spa. Does that make any sense? That's what I think of. So I didn't buy this for myself. I got it as part of a package. I have not used it before. You can see it's like right up to the top here. And I know if I don't roll it into a project, I'm going to pick other stuff. Especially lots of the wonderful Bath & Body Works things that just smell so good. This is slightly bigger than Bath & Body Works. So this one has 8.8 ounces, which is 0.8 ounces more than a Bath & Body Works. At least their creams, or I think their lotions are about the same size. I mean, there's a slight size difference between them. So just a little bit bigger than either of those items. And if you've been keeping up with my Skin is in Project Pan, generally I tend to use up one of those Bath & Body Works lotions or creams. I want to guesstimate about in 4 weeks because I'm 5'8". There's a decent amount of me, so you want to make sure that you do a full body moisturization process. I'm trying to do that daily, so I go through, and I'm generous. I'm generous with the lotion because I want my skin to be hydrated. So this is going to play with that. So I'll have the two running simultaneously. This one I do have 3 months to work through. And we'll kind of prioritize based on how the progress is going. So, a little nervous about it, but I do want to get it out again. It's that white, white sand beach color. We got the vibrancy for the red. Right, so, and it's supposed to be moisturizing. So, hydrates, refreshes, softens, exactly what you want for when your skin is on display, when you're wearing shorts, dresses, skirts, tank tops. You're not covered up with, especially in Canadian winters, big heavy coats, big boots, scarves, mitts. So, lotion, stay moisturized. And I do have one fragrance that I'm rolling in, and that is this little sample size of the black Opium. This came as part of my Christmas gift from my husband this last year, the perfume sampler for her set, where there was a set of 12 fragrances in there, plus a voucher to redeem for a full size of one of the samples. I have not used this particular bottle. And you can see we're starting right there. So it's not even full, which For this scent, that's okay. I have used up one of these samples before. I don't get the hype personally. Like, it's fine. It's not like I won't use it, but I'm definitely not going to redeem for the full size of this. So I'm going to get this rolled out, get it done, get it gone, and so that I don't have as many perfumes hanging around. Now, if you've caught my Finish 7 by Spring, where I have, or at least I had a fragrance, again, very similar to this kind of size, a 2 milliliter sample. Took me like 2 months to go through it. So I should be able to get it done for sure. Just, again, I'm not as fast with my fragrances. Now let's move on to the makeup. I know that's lots of your guys' favorite category for Project Pans. The first item that I'm bringing in for makeup is an eyeliner. This eyeliner doesn't have a whole lot left. I mean, there's a decent amount left. What am I saying? There's a lot of pencil here left. Especially for this kind of eyeliner, I only use it on the waterline to help brighten a little bit. So brighten like the sun, very nice and summery. Give a little bit extra. This is the Elizabeth Mott. This is their Smooth Shadow Creamy Eye Pencil, sorry. This is in the shade Pearl. So it's very pretty. And I've noticed as I'm getting further down the pencil, I don't know if it's because it's getting older or if, well, it's not that old. I got it in BoxyCharm, part of a duo set. So I don't know if it's getting older or because I'm using it fairly often. I'm finding I have to sharpen this kind of pencil a lot more than other eye pencils. So I'm thinking I should be able to get through it in the 3 months. It's not the only one I use in the waterline. I also have the Pixie Silky Eye Pencil in gold, which if I am wearing something a little bit more yellowy or gold, then I try to use that one in the waterline. So this one doesn't get used every single day, but a good chunk of the days. So that is why I want to get this one used up. And of course, as we get to the updates, I'll be able to track for you guys on my little card where we're all at with that. All right, the next item, also from this Shoppers Drug Mart 25 Days of Beauty Surprises Advent Calendar. This is a very small sample. It only has 1.8 grams of product in it of the Nars Climax Mascara. Now, I normally don't want to put mascaras in projects because you can't really track the usage very easily, especially with such a small amount of product in there. And they're hard to track without weighing them, which I don't really want to do. It's not as interesting for me. The other thing as well is with mascaras, I'm usually a only one mascara open kind of girl. I've got a ton of mascaras in backstock, but only one is open at a time. Except for now, because story time. Coming back from the Caribbean, our flight getting into Toronto, which was going to be our connection, was delayed twice. So by the time we actually were able to get off of the airplane, we had like 40 minutes until our next plane was supposed to leave. And of course, we have to go through customs and security and find your gate and gate change that wasn't communicated well because our flights were still on airplane mode because we were just on another plane. Basically, all of that story to inform you guys that we made the flight, but our bags didn't make the flight. We did get the bags, so don't worry, but it did take, a full extra day to get our bags delivered to us. But all of that to say, obviously I have other primers, other foundations, bronzers, eyeshadow. I've got all of that stuff. And I've got, in some categories, tons of options I could go for. But mascara especially, that's one of those products that is an always for me. I don't have bad lashes, but it's they could look better, right? So mascara always, all the time. And mascara also isn't something that you could just substitute, right? If you don't have an eyeliner, you can use an eyeshadow. If you don't have a brow pencil, you can use an eyeshadow, right? You've got some options for some other things. You can use a concealer as a foundation. Mascara, you don't have that. So I went looking in my collection for my smallest sample, which is this one, because I knew I'd have 2 open mascaras at the same time. So I want to get it used up. Again, we've got a nice red. It's kind of like a summery looking red, so it ties in with the theme there. Right. The summer for a lot of people, it's a lot of individuals' favorite season. Mine's spring personally, but for a lot of people, summer is the highlight or the Climax of the year. So that's why we're bringing in this one. So again, I want to get it done. It's a decent mascara. It's kind of amazing how that wand just fits in there. But the one looks like this. So kind of like that hourglass a little bit there. It's definitely a good lengthening mascara. That's the main thing I noticed from it. But, you know, it's fine. But I want to get it used up because I have 2 mascaras open, which I don't like. I don't like that. So this one's going to get used up. Okay, it's back. So if you've been catching my makeup plan to pan for 2023, I talked about this palette. This is the Lucky Glow Bronze and Highlight Palette. And you guys, I'm making good progress in here. So let's take a look at the palette. So this bronzer, I had used up previously. So I used that up last year. This is the highlight. I don't care for it. It doesn't work for my skin. I'm going to ignore this one and haven't sent. And of course, if you caught my Spring is in project pan, then this one. The Pot of Gold, it was like a gold highlighter. And I finished it. First highlighter I've ever finished. This was the first bronzer I ever finished. We also have these 2 items in here. Watch for those in other projects. So we have this highlighter in 777. So we've got a nice big pan in the middle there that we're working through. That's the highlighter I'm wearing today. And of course we have this blush, which has, you know, extra pan over here. So we're kind of wearing that section down. So it's really thin right in here. Kind of thick around the sides, but that's just how it is. But what you're probably seeing is this little baby bronzer that's left. So this bronzer is in Good Fortune. I will put up a picture so you can see where it was before I repressed it, or had my husband help me repress it, really. So thank you. So there was not much left. And once it was repressed, that's what we got. So I'll throw a picture up so you can see it a little bit better as well. That's not going to take very long, or at least I'm optimistic it's not going to take very long. Yes, this is a gimme product because, again, we want to drop 10 of these items by summer, so you're going to have that range of items in there. So we've got some gimmies, and that's so exciting. That is exciting. I am so pleased, and we'll see where I get there. If I get that done, that means I will have half of the palette done. Oh, so close. So close. Obviously, as a bronzer, right, you give yourself that summer bronze. So that's the logic for that last item. And finally, we have this item here. So this is the NYX Precision Brow Pencil. I have the shade Espresso. I don't do a whole lot with my eyebrows because I have a fair amount of brows, so it's mainly just kind of filling in a little bit, right? Anything that's a little bit sparse looking. I use this, like, again, I tend to use one brow product at a time. This is what I have left in it, so not a whole lot left. I don't know how long it's going to take me to go through it, but we'll play with it, get it done. And yeah, so brows every day, including the summer. So this is my 10th and final item. Drop 10 by summer. So hopefully by the time we hit the finale on June 20th, I will have finished all of these items. That is the goal. At least that's what I'm going to be striving for. For this upcoming month, I just want to play with everything, right? So yes, I do anticipate if I was going for it, these 2 items could get done. But I don't want to set that officially as goals because for the bronzer, I do have the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in my This Is Fantasy. I have a goal of 50 uses on that particular item. I need to do another 27 uses since that update went up on the 11th. And I have been using it, but I do want to make sure I get those 27 uses in so that I can roll it out for my next update. So because of that, even though there isn't a whole lot of bronzer left, I don't think it's going to be done for next time just because I'm going to be focusing on that bronzer for that project, for that rollout. But I will still get some use on it. And of course, the sunscreen. There really isn't that much left. Again, the reminder, we are right there. We got to get down here if I use it. And that's the question. That's the question. I should be using it every day, regardless of the weather, regardless if I'm inside or outside. I'm supposed to wear the SPF. But I imagine might not quite get there. But that's okay. At least put it in the project and at least make progress. So I don't know how exciting the first one's going to be. Hopefully it's still exciting to see all the progress as we go. And yeah, even with the mask as well. Right there, again, there isn't much in here. The mask goes over the entire face. But of course, I do have a bunch of masks that I'm kind of rotating through. Some of them are in Skin is In, and I do have a mask sample as well in my Advent Calendar project pan. So check that one out as well. I'm really excited for that mask. So again, with how many masks I kind of have in my rotation right now, it may be difficult to like really focus in on any of them without excluding others completely. So I will figure it out. I'll have some fun with it. And of course, for the first update, I'm mainly going to be focused on progress. Right, that's going to be the key. When we get to the second update, that's when we'll have those more concrete goals. Because of course, after that will be the finale, because this is a nice short project for you guys. So thank you so much for joining me today. Again, lots of people do this particular project, so I appreciate you spending some time on my version of it. And I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video very soon. Have a wonderful day.